Our Youth, Our Future is a segment to promote a system that offers more youths a path to a prosperous and enlightened future. Today's youth are our future leaders. Welcome to episode 2, The Thriving Youth.
The future is not something that just happens. The future is something you create. In the last episode, I spoke about having realizable expectations and pursuing the legal path to success. Today, I want to dwell on the right path to success. The right path must be legal. It does take time, which is why I can understand a lot of our youths would rather follow the shortcuts. And as it is, most of the time, shortcuts never pay off well on the long run. Illegal routes like Yahoo, drugs, and sucking up to money bags is not the way to that future that is actually desirable for our youth. Everyone has one talent or the other. We need to find it, develop on that talent, and that also takes time. Nobody is actually a failure in the real sense of the word. What happens to a lot of our youth is they are pursuing things that may seem popular or talents that they don't have but others possess. For example, a fish will be considered a failure all of its life if it is measured for climbing a tree. But throw that fish in water and it just thrives there. In the same way, every one of our youths, you need to find what your talent is. Then learn all you can to develop that talent, that skill. Sometimes that comes with some level of apprenticeship, and a lot of times you may not even earn any money from it. So please put aside this crave and desire for money and wealth. Once you find your true talent and you develop yourself in it, and you move to be the best you can be in that talent, over time, people will begin to pay you for that same talent. Or you need to speak to people like Alibaba and Basket Mount, or some of the musicians, the Wizkids and the likes that we all run after. A long time it took them to get where they are. When they started, many times, nobody was willing to listen to them or pay them for anything. Also, don't be discouraged by people calling you a failure. Almost every success has been called a failure at one time or the other. Remember, you are the one that sees the future. And the future, again, is not something that you just desire or that just happens. It's a future you create. So you create the right future. Take your time, develop yourself, and work towards it. Some level of education may be required. Now, education is not necessarily classwork. Yes, while that is critical and helpful, a lot more education actually is learned even through the challenges that prevails in a country like ours. It builds character, builds strength, and makes us better. Again, our youth, you are our future. Without the youth, there's no future. Next week, I'll be talking about specific steps that youths can take in realizing and developing their talent. My name again is Olusoji Oyawe.
Before you take our youth our future, what do you tell a youth who has taken up the responsibility of his parents? The parents are not up to 50, and because of that legal means that he's using, he started funding the house and taking care of the parents who are supposed to be taking care of him.
Well, I can't remember if it was Wole Soyinka or later Shorai that says this is a failed generation. It's a complete abnormality where the youth typically are taking up rules that are meant for parents and adults. While I can't rule out the fact that sometimes life certainly throws up such challenges, but pursuing an illegal means to meet that obligation doesn't make it right, and always would backfire in the long run. Now, if you also check, a lot of times you would find out that it's not that difficult or challenging, even in an environment, to eat and meet basic needs. What usually pushes most of our youth, it's not the basic needs. For a lot of people, the desire usually is just to ride a big car, not even just any car, to also live big, because rightfully that's what they see in the field generation all around them. But that is what we are trying to change with a program like this. If we follow this trend that is persisting, we'll have no future. We'll have no future. A society that is developed around just me, myself, alone, built using whatever means possible, right, kills everybody else. And at the end of the day, you also will be dead anyway.
Okay, so in the next episode, we'll be looking at how do we diversify, because there are a lot of illegal funds that can be diversified to being legal. What do you think?
Well, I will never subscribe to legal funds being diversified to legal.
Okay.
The way I'd like to put it is, there are lots of ways to develop, again, a better future. And see, there's a lot more to life than funds or money and all of that. While all of that is desirable and helpful as it is, a blind pursuit of money for money's sake itself is never sustained on the long run, because that is what makes people consistently compromise and are ready to do anything to sustain that wrong lifestyle. But there are right things that one can do, and it goes back again to what we shared in previous episode, which is finding our talents. Everybody has something. Now it's to find yourself and what you're good at. For example, you're running a youth program, you're in broadcasting as it is, and it gives you a lot of fulfillment. I don't think it has given you a lot of money, but you seem to enjoy what you're doing. I met you through a program like this, and somehow you are beginning to get known and noticed. So ultimately, eventually, both the fame and the money would come, but it takes time. It takes time.
Our Youth, Our Future is a segment to promote a system that offers more youths a path to a prosperous and enlightened future. Today's youth are our future leaders. It is not just enough to listen, action is key. Send your comments to Soji Woye. Soji Woye is SOJIWOYE@gmail.com. This was brought to you courtesy Resource Intermediaries Limited, a people outsourcing management company.